Part 1. For the last few weeks I've been sitting with a question, not a small one. Am I wasting my time? More than 80 videos on YouTube, 8 subscribers, 24 views on my last 12 long-form videos. Those are not the numbers that inspire motivational posters. And if you're anything like me, someone who has poured time, energy, and nervous system regulation into creating something from nothing, you've probably asked yourself the same question. So today we're not going to pretend the question doesn't exist. We're going to talk about hesitance, the kind that creeps in when the room stays empty. The kind that makes you wonder if anyone is listening. And then we're going to talk about what sits on the other side of hesitance. Adventure, fortitude, backbone. Not because those words are pretty, because they're the only things that have kept me going. Part 2. Personal truth. Here's the truth I don't see people saying out loud. Creating into an empty room is hard. Not challenging, not a growth opportunity, hard. Because the part of you that needs feedback, that needs to know you're not just shouting into the void, starts to whisper. You're wasting your time. You're not cut out for this. Maybe you should just stop. And that whisper, if you let it, becomes hesitance. You second guess every edit, every thumbnail, every word you write. I felt it this week when I looked at my analytics for the first time in 3 months, when I saw that my new format, the one I spent days re-editing, the one I was genuinely proud of, hadn't moved the needle. And I sat with that feeling. I didn't run from it or pretend it wasn't there. Here's what I realized. The hesitance wasn't telling me to stop. It was telling me that I cared. And caring about an empty room? That's not delusion. That's called having a backbone when no one is watching. So here's my personal truth for this week. You don't need an audience to have a backbone. You need a decision. Part 3. Common story. Here's a story. Not a client, mine. I've posted more than 80 videos on YouTube, have 8 subscribers and 24 views on my last 12 long-form videos. And for a while, I told myself the silence meant something, that I wasn't good enough, that I should stop. But then I stopped and looked at what I'd actually made. Not the numbers, the work. Every video taught me something. Editing, pacing, how to make an image fade into the next one without it feeling clumsy. I wasn't failing, I was practicing. And here's what I know now that I didn't know before. The silence isn't rejection, it's delay. Every piece of content you create is a stone dropped into a deep well. You keep dropping stones waiting to hear a splash, but the well is deeper than you thought. The splash hasn't come yet because the well isn't full. So you keep dropping stones, not with blind optimism, because you're building your backbone. Eventually, not because you got lucky, because you persisted, the well fills, the splash comes. And the person who hears it, they won't know how many stones you dropped. They'll just know you were there when they needed you. That's what I want. not viral moments or overnight success, the quiet, unglamorous, day after day fortitude that turns an empty room into a conversation. Eventually. Part 4. Metaphor. The stone and the river. Imagine a stone at the bottom of a river. It's been there for years, decades, maybe longer. The water flows over it constantly. Currents push, seasons change, the stone doesn't move. And at first that feels like hesitance, like the stone is stuck, like it should be somewhere else, doing something else, becoming something else. But here's what the stone knows that the current doesn't. It's not stuck, it's steady. The stone doesn't need to move to matter, it needs to remain, to provide something for the water to flow around, to create the very turbulence that shapes the riverbed. You are the stone, not because you're immovable, because you've chosen to be steady in a world that rewards constant motion. And steadiness, that's not hesitance, that's backbone. Part 5. Reframe invitation and pattern interrupt. So here's the reframe. What if the empty room isn't a sign that you're failing? What if it's a sign that you're early? What if the hesitance you feel isn't weakness, it's your nervous system telling you that you care? And caring is not a liability, it's the entire point. I'm not suggesting you ignore the numbers. Data is data. But I am saying don't let the data become your identity. 8 subscribers is not who you are. It's where you are right now. And the difference between those two sentences? Backbone. So here's your invitation for this week. Pick one thing you've been hesitating to do because the room is empty and you're not sure it matters, and do it anyway. Not for the result, for the fortitude. Because every time you act despite the hesitance, you grow a little more backbone. And backbone, unlike subscribers, is something no algorithm can take from you. Part 6. Hypnotic Close. And if it's comfortable for you to do so, you may allow your eyes to close just for a moment, just to rest. And as you rest, you might notice something. A quiet steadiness. A knowing that has nothing to do with numbers. The part of you that kept going when no one was watching. That chose the stone over the current. That decided that hesitance would not be the final word. That part is not new. It has been there all along. Waiting for you to notice. So you can let go now. Of the need for proof. The need for applause. The need to know when the splash will come. You only need to know one thing. You are not stuck. You are steady. And steadiness is its own reward. Slow breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and carry that steadiness with you into the rest of your day.